I got an awesome stack of comics that I picked up this weekend. And after that, I want to show you guys some investment books that you may want to add to your collection. So stick around. I'll be right back. What is up, comic book community? It's your boy, and I am back with another episode of Keep It Comics. I am always your host. My name is C3. Today, I got a really special video planned for you guys. The first thing I want to do is share with you some books that I picked up this weekend. And then we're going to double back and I want to show you some comics that I'm hoping to be able to add to my collection. Some of them I have, but some of them I definitely want to pick up because as I watch what's trending in the market for the year 2022, I definitely want to have these books in my collection. So I figured I'd share the comics and the information with you, the comic book community. All right? So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into what I got for us today. And the first book we're going to start off with is Marvel's Dark Reign, Dark Avengers, issue number 1. Found this book at a really low price, found it in the back issue bin. And the gentleman gave it to me for cover price. So I was super excited about this. I had picked up one not too long ago and I wind up finding another one. So I'm happy about that. I am definitely thrilled. Dark Avengers. Because it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, it's coming. All right? The next book I want to show you is centered around all the hype. So when I saw it, I had to grab it. I think I paid about $10 for this book. And I was happy to pay that price because, you know, with all the new characters that could be popping up, you want to have it in your collection as well. And I'm talking about Marvel, Mark Spector, Moon Knight, and this is Wild Midnight. Wild Midnight. And it's the first appearance of Midnight. Definitely a nice book. I'm pleased to be able to add this to the collection. And you know, Moon Knight's picking up a lot of steam. So you got to get on board. Don't wait till the movie drops. Get on board. Don't wait for it to show up on Disney Plus. Get on board now. Right? While the prices are still affordable. This comic I picked up because I read the first issue, the regular cover. I read Daredevil, and I was super ecstatic about it. I was happy. I mean, it was a great run by Chip Zdarsky. Now we've got a new writer on it, and it seems like this is feeding off of that last run. So I grabbed the variant art cover by Inyuk Lee, and that's Daredevil, Devil's Reign, issue number 1. And I grabbed that Daredevil Big Boss cover. Just a beautiful cover. This is the 1 in 25 Inyuk Lee variant. The Kingpin. Kingpin. I always call him the Big Boss. But Kingpin is what he's known for. It's what he's known as. And I loved his little appearance, his little cameo appearance in Hawkeye too. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so I want to grab that book because with the way Marvel has things going on right now, anything's possible. There's no telling who you are going to see on the big screen or the small screen right now. There's no telling, man. All holes are off. I mean, the doors are open. All portals, all wormholes, everything, timeline, everything's open. All doors to the Marvel Universe has been open, right? And speaking of which, that's why I grabbed another copy of Timeless, issue number 1, that Miss Minutes cover. This was hot a couple of weeks ago, so I grabbed another one. Yeah, as you can see, I got one behind me back there. So I went and grabbed another one just to have two in the collection. You never know. I mean, it is her first cover appearance. You know, some people may say, "Oh man, why is everybody going so crazy over a clock?" I mean, at the end of the day, if you can get it for cover price or you know, I think stores were charging $20 for it right out the back, right off the mark. But if that's what you're gonna pay for the book, that's fine, man. I wouldn't pay 50, $60 for it. I would shy from giving anybody $100 for it. But yo, if it came out the day it came out, they were asking $20 for it. I grabbed one. Um, the store that I frequent had another copy available, so I figured why not? Let me just grab that one as well, add it to the collection. And he actually took $5 off the price from me. So this one I actually got for 15, you know? So you can't beat that. You can't beat that. It's a beautiful cover. She's really cute sitting up there, and I think it's worth adding to the collection, you know. She did make an appearance. She was definitely in Loki. I don't know if you saw her, but I saw her. She was in Loki, and I think she played her part, you know. She taught us about the timeline and what happens when you break it and what happens when you disrupt the timeline. So, she's worth adding to the collection, right? Absolutely. Timeless, issue number 1. The next book I grabbed, I showed you guys the first one, right? As a matter of fact, let me show that to you. I showed you the first one that had me all gassed up. I was hyped when I showed you guys this book. Power Rangers Universe issue number 1. I was gassed when I showed you guys that book, right? Absolutely, man. This book's still fire. So what I did is when I saw it, and so I grabbed that virgin copy of it. This is the store incentive. Yeah, virgin, definitely fire. I'm still souped about this cover, man. This face, yo, I love this face. Fire, man. Fire. Just a beautiful cover, man. Just beautiful the way the colors fly, the foil and the eyes and how everything bangs off the light, man. Just a very well put together cover. You know, using the entire length of the comic books to create the face of the villain in the background. Yeah, I like that. Very stylistic. Very stylish. Right? Power Rangers Universe issue number 1. I'll take it. It's going to my collection. Absolutely. Next up, I grabbed, and this is again, Timeless issue number 1. It had multiple covers that came out that day. So I realized that I forgot to pick up my Stormbreakers Peach Momoko variant. Definitely a fan of Peach Momoko. You know, not everything Peach Momoko. I mean, sometimes she's a little off in my opinion, but when she hits, she hits. And this is definitely one of those who I think is a hit. I think this is a definite hit. Peach Momoko, ladies and gentlemen. Next book, we're going to move over to DC a little bit. And remember, I was talking to you guys about Detective Comics issue 1046. On New Comic Book Day, I couldn't find a copy, so I doubled back and I grabbed a couple of copies. And I believe this is that Lee Berhimo cover. Just beautiful artwork, man. Just Bruce is just jacked, standing in front of the Bat costume. That is so awesome. You know, and I like this cover, and I guess I'm kind of understanding why I missed out on it, because, like, you know, no matter where you go, there were limited copies too. I mean, like, you couldn't see them there weren't a lot on the shelf, so people were actually grabbing these. You know, so I guess I'm not the only person who thinks that this is a hot cover. This is a beautiful piece of artwork. Very nice. Very nice. Love it. All right. Next up, I want to show you guys, we're going back to Marvel now. So This is a comic book that like I told you before, I am going to continue to pick this comic book up when I see it, because we are still in the early stages of the creativity of this particular storyline, of this particular character. And I am talking about Doctor Strange, Strange Academy, issue number 13. And this is the first appearance of Gaslight. Right? Now, I think there has been a little bit of question of what the name is. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pop this baby open. And we're just going to go ahead and be 100% accurate of who we're looking for. Right? So what I want to do is I'm going to show you that exactly. This is the first appearance of this individual. Right? So therefore, comic book community, I stand corrected. His name is not Gaslight, it is Gas Lamp. Gas Lamp. And that's okay. I don't mind being wrong. Remember, I told you, I never claimed to be the smartest. And I'm all right with that. But it is the first appearance of Gas Lamp. And he's a very, very creepy looking sorcery, some type of magical drug dealer that I think he's worth having. Right? And I'm telling you, the reason I like this is because you're getting a lot of new characters introduced, you know? And it's been a great story. Scotty Young has been doing really good with this story. So I will continue to pick these up as I see them, right? So this is one that I grabbed. Here's another. Yeah, issue number 13. First cameo of Gas Lamp. Gas Lamp, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm just going to flip these. We want to make sure we're protecting the spines on them. Okay, the next book I want to show you, sticking to that same genre, into that same category, into that same theme, is Strange Academy, issue number 14. And I believe this is the first full appearance of Gas Lamp. First full appearance of Gas Lamp. Yes. And you know me, spits and giggles. I picked up both copies. And remember, I shall continue to pick them up. I shall continue to pick up Strange Academy no matter where I see them at. If I see them on the shelves or they're in the bins, I'm grabbing them. I want to try to make sure I have multiple runs for that, because I think this book is going to do very, very well in the future. All right. And the last book I want to show you that I picked up is Marvel Legacy, Sinister Six, Reborn, Part 1, Spider-Man, issue number 234. And that is the first appearance of the new Sinister Six. So I had to grab these. And I'm happy to add these to the PC. Just tuck them away and let them be there. Forget about them. Listen. And for me, it's very hard for me to forget about my books, because I pull my books frequently, right? And that's why I grabbed another copy. They had 2 copies, so I bought 2 copies. Again, just like Strange Academy, I'm all over Miles Morales, all things Miles Morales. It's a whole new world, a whole new universe that's finna be built, and they're creating it, and character development is on the way, so you can't go wrong. When you find Miles Morales out there, make sure you grab it. Make sure you grab it. All right? So there you have it, folks. Those are some of the books that I picked up this weekend. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and don't forget to share, because that's what helps us grow the channel. All right? Really appreciate that. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some books that I'll be looking to add to my PC, due to the fact that I noticed that the trends are up and they're growing in popularity, and I definitely want to be a part of that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's jump into this next segment of the video. Before I start, I just want to give you a little summary of what I did. I just sat on my laptop, just looked for a little bit of information, tried to find out which comics were spiking right now, which ones were up, which ones were down, what comics may be worth adding to the PC versus just going to buy a bunch of comics that don't mean anything or will not complement what I already have in the collection. So I found about 50, but today I'm going to present 10 of those to you. All right, so just be on the lookout for the other videos, and you'll see the other comics that I'm also interested in adding to the PC. All right, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 10 of those comics that I ran across based on not just speculation, but what I have watched in commentary and creator content coming from Marvel Studios and Disney Plus, and based on what I found on eBay and cover price. All right, so let's jump right in. I'm excited. Let's do it. The first book I want to talk to you about is published by Marvel Comics. The title is Marvel Now .1. Yes, and it was released on October 17, 2012. All right. Now, the key factor to this book is that it's the first cover appearance of America Chavez. It is first America Chavez in Marvel 616 continuity. Right? So that's the key factor of this book. And you have to pay attention to the fact that she is younger in the appearance on this book than she is in Vengeance. Yeah. So that's something a lot of people didn't know. But she's younger in this appearance than she is in her appearance in Vengeance, issue number 1, which is her first appearance. Her first appearance is in Vengeance, right? And everybody's talking about Vengeance, and we all know that it's a book that we want. So that's why I decided to do this book instead of Vengeance, because and it's a really low buy-in for this book. The last recorded sale was $21.01. That was at a raw copy. And it's currently down right now, believe it or not, which makes this a perfect opportunity to buy this book and add it to your PC, right? It's down 8.26%, making it a great time for you to purchase it. And you can't not want to get a book at the low end, right? It does. So if it's down and you think, well, people are not interested in it, well, that's fine. But at the end of the day, books trend down. Every time, they may get hot, they go up, they spike, they're super hot. And then every now and again, if you just sit back and be patient, they'll level themselves out, right? They'll come back down. And when they come down, that's the perfect time for you to buy. So for this particular book, Marvel Now .1, first cover of America Chavez, this is a perfect buying opportunity for this book. So I'll buy that all day at $20. As a matter of fact, if you watch my last couple of videos, you notice I just purchased a few of them, right? So the average graded sell for 9.6 is $55.67, right? For 9.6, $55 is not bad at all. Raw copies are averaging about $20.49. Total recorded sales on this book has been 487 copies sold thus far, right? And the highest recorded copy sold was back in December 21, a 9.8 sold for $299, which is not bad. It's definitely not bad, right? And so fair market value on this book is $55.67. And I don't think that's bad at all, right? Definitely. So that's Marvel Now .1, issue number 1. First cover appearance of America Chavez. All right, so The next book I want to talk to you about is a DC book. It was published by DC and Wonder Comics. And the name of the book is Naomi, issue number 1. It was released on January 23rd, 2019. Key factor to this book is that it's the first appearance of Naomi. And Naomi is coming to CW. She's got her own show. There's a lot of hype centered around it. I noticed that a lot of people are on the fence about Naomi, right? But here's one thing I want to mention. Including myself, I often, you'll hear me rant about all these characters that they're creating, and they're just offshots of another character, right? You know, there's no creativity. You're just taking the powers of one individual and you're just transferring them to a different gender. Like, you're not creating a new character. So, like, you know, there's a Superman, then you create a Supergirl, right? But and that's fine. You know, I have no quarrels against the women, this, that, and the third. But here you have a completely new character with their own origin, with their own powers, and, you know, their own story. Like, this is what I've been wanting. So that's why I'm excited about this, and this is why I must have this book in my collection. This is why I'm hyped about the new TV series that's going to come out, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it, because it was a very well written story, and I really enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. So this is why Naomi is a good buy for me. First of all, the last recorded sale was $56 for a raw copy of cover A, and the sales trend is up right now, 94%, and you can't beat that. Like, this book is on the go, right? This book is on the go. It's going to go up and up and up for a little while until it finally levels itself out. But it's still a good opportunity to buy. Average sales for 9.8 are like $179, and raw copies are averaging $59.29. Total copies sold for this book is 1,131 copies sold thus far, right? And this book is moving. So you want to grab this book before it gets too hot, and it may get out of reach. If the story is a hit, if Naomi is a hit on the CW, you can expect this book to continue to rise up for a little while, right? This book is going to continue to grow in value. So it's not a bad time for you to cop this book, whether you're catching a couple of raw copies or you grab it in a 9.8. You know, you may be able to bargain a little bit, catch it about $200, maybe even $250, depending on the person and if they're willing to come off of it. The highest known graded copy that was sold was back in April, a 9.8 of Naomi issue number 1, sold for a whopping $587.77. That's a lot of chebbles, bro. That's a lot of money. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think it was worth it. You got the first appearance of a real new character. Not the first appearance of a character, but the first appearance of a real new character, right? Exactly. Naomi, issue number 1. Keep your eye out for it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the next comic, right? I want to talk to you about this comic. This comic is coming from Marvel Comics. It is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 194, and it is the first appearance of the Black Cat. Absolutely. The release date was July 1st, 1979. Last recorded sale was in an 8.5, and that book went for $637. That's not bad. For 8.5 graded copy, $637, I'll take it. That's not bad at all, right? The current trend is slightly increasing, like it's a slow increase, like, so it's trending up, like units are moving, but they're moving slowly. And that could be because the comic book community is on the fence, but they sense something is going on. There has to be some chatter about this. There has to be some backdoor, some backroom talks going on to make this book start moving a little bit. So just think about it. It's still early in the game, so you can still grab this book at a fair price. So make sure you grab this book. Slight increase is up 3%. You know, it's trending up 3%. It's not bad. It's moving, right? It's not at a standstill, which means if something does happen, you could have this book. And for those of you who like flipping, it's a perfect opportunity for you to buy it at a fair market value, and you may be able to sell it a little later on. Once it spikes again, once it spikes real hard, you may be able to sell it and bring home a good profit off of it. Yeah. Right? So graded sales are averaging for 9.6. For 9.6, graded sale averages are $1,633 for 9.6. Raw copies average sales are going for $285 on the raw end. Total copies sold thus far is 1,757 copies. And the highest copy sold was graded a 9.8, and it sold for an astounding $5,760, and that was back in May of 2021. Almost $6,000, ladies and gentlemen, for a 9.8 of the first appearance of the Black Cat. Amazing Spider-Man, $194. Fair market value on that book is at $1,633. All right, so you do what you want with that. You do what you want with that, ladies and gentlemen. Next book I want to show you was published by Marvel Comics, and I'm talking about Ironheart issue number 1, but specifically the Humberto Ramos variant, right? I'm excited about this because I know they may still be trying to figure out how to present Riri, but when Riri steps out of Tony Stark's shadow, she's going to the moon, baby. She's going to the moon. She boldly steps out of Tony Stark's shadow and starts embracing her own destiny. Ironheart is going to be a smash hit. That's in my opinion. Ironheart's going to be a smash hit, and I want to be right there when she hits. You know, her release date, she was released on July 19, 2019. When you see that, make sure you go to YouTube, right, and look for that Disney Plus concept trailer that they released on Ironheart. Man, that thing gassed me right on up. I was excited about that. I can't wait to see it. So the key factor about it is that it's Ironheart's first solo series. Last recorded sales on that in a 9.8. The asking price on this particular book was anywhere from $100 to $189, right? Which is definitely not bad. Low buy-in. Great opportunity to make some money here for those of my guys that like selling and flipping books. Great opportunity to make some money. But also an even better opportunity for those of us who like to be able to get our comics at a low cost and add them to our collection and watch them grow. Yes, perfect opportunity. All right. Current trends are still out right now. They're not really even tracking this book at least on cover price. They're not really tracking this book, right? But that helps me understand that deliberation is still out. They're still watching. They're waiting. They want some solid news that they can go on. And they don't have any of that right now, right? So we know for a fact that raw copies asking prices are anywhere from $30.99 all the way up to $49.99 or best offers on this particular comic cover, right? There are tons of covers out there, and they are all doing well on the secondary market. But I'm speaking specifically about the Humberto Ramos cover. You know what I mean? I just dig that cover. She's up in the air taking a selfie with the jets around her. I think that's a fly cover. No pun intended. All right? So definitely keep your eye on that. Ironheart, issue number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you can go wrong. All right? Now, this next comic book, we're all over this, right? Everybody's already paying attention. But I hope people are as excited about this book as I am, because Miles Morales' Spider-Man issue number 1 is by far going to be one of the hottest comics when this young man graces the big screen, right? Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 1. I watched that across the Spider-Verse trailer. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a smash one. This one's gonna smash. This was definitely gonna smash. And at the end of the day, everybody's going after Ultimate Fallout 4, and everybody else is grabbing a lot of those variances with Miles Morales on it, like including myself. You know, the Sinister Six, 234, Miles. But everybody's sleeping on Miles Morales issue number 1, the one where he's standing in front of the buildings, you know, looking all thorough. Like I definitely got to make sure I'm sharing this information with the community because I'm paying attention. You're gonna want to get this book right now. We already know the key factors on it. It's Miles, right? It was released in December 12th, 2018. The last recorded sale in the 9.8 for this book was $219.99. Sales are up 15% on this particular book. And that's not bad. That goes to show you that people believe in Miles. For those who don't, there are many that do. So, and I'm one of the believers. I believe in him, and I know he's going to do his thing. The average graded sales are in a 9.8 are $212. So, think about that. In a 9.8, anywhere from $212 to $219, and it's going to continue to grow. Raw copies are roughly about $60 right now. $60, not bad. And it's safe to say, I myself, this is one of the books I do not actually have to purchase because I have several copies in the PC already. So I'm happy about that, right? But I still wanted to share this information. And if I can get my hands on other copies, I may invest. I may continue to invest. The ones that I have, I purchased at $3.99. And I'm happy about that. If I have to buy a few of them at $60, I may do that, or I may even go after the graded copy, because I think that's probably what may be in my best interest right now. If I have them raw, it only makes sense that I grab one of the graded ones. And so I've got a couple of decisions I need to make because there are a few books that I do want to go after, but I just want to make sure I'm spending the money in the right area, right? So total recorded sales of Miles Morales issue number 1, 461 copies sold so far. 461 copies sold, and it's still selling, right? The highest graded copy sold back in July, and that was a 9.8, and it sold for $212. Yes, in a 9.8. Yeah, in a 9.8. And I know that price is going to continue to go up. All right? So definitely keep your eye out for that. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 1. And definitely make sure you go watch that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer. Issue part 2, man. It's fire, man. It's fire. You can't go wrong with that. Okay? Now, sticking with that same theme, let's talk a little bit about Marvel Comics SpiderGwen, issue number 1. Yeah, you can't do Miles without SpiderGwen, right? So her release date was on February 25th, 2015. This is her first solo series, right? This is her first solo series, and she's on fire too right now. All her books are spiking. She's got a number of variances out there. She's growing in popularity. People believe in these characters, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to accept it or not, people believe in these characters. And her last recorded sales in a raw copy was $49.99. Her price is trending right now. She's actually trending upwards 1.42%. And the average copy in a 9.8 is going for $160. And that's not bad at all. A 9.8 for $160 on a character that you know is going to grow in popularity, that's not bad. Average raw sales, $35.39. 39, right? And total sales recorded this far, 339 copies sold. And they're on the move. These books are moving the needle, ladies and gentlemen. The needle is moving. So you want to get on right now. Get on the train now before it gets moving a little too fast, right? And the highest known graded copy sold back in December 2021, a 9.8 sold for $179.99. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, I got some decisions to make. Decisions. Which book do I buy? Right? And fair market value on this book rests at $160. Moving right along. This book also, same theme, same reason. Marvel Comics, Edge of Spider-Verse, Gwen Stacy, fire. Fire. There's no other word I could use. Fire. This book has been moving, been hot, been trending up. It hasn't slowed down. Release date was September 17, 2014. It's the first appearance of SpiderGwen, right? So you know this is worth having in your PC. Last recorded sales, graded copies in the 9.8, was $1,879.95. It's trending up 89% right now. So market's hot for this book. Average graded copy sold for in a 9.8, $1,792. Raw copies of this book are selling for a nice $547. That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. But it's still obtainable, right? Because I don't want to say what may be too expensive for one person may be like peanuts to another. So I don't want to, step out of bounds and act like I know what people have in their pockets. I'm just saying, in my world, that's a lot of money. $500 is a lot of money from where I sit. But some people may, blow that on a meal, right? 2,000 copies sold so far. 2,000 copies. This book is selling. So make sure you get yourself one. The highest known graded copy sold back in May 2021 at a 9.8 sold for $1,999.99. And there's one listed on eBay right now for $19,999.99 or best offer. Go figure. Go figure. 19,000. That's 20 grand. That's 20,000. That's 20 stacks. That's 20 racks. That's 20 bricks. That's 20. Easy. Right? Fair market value got this book resting at $1,792. But this book is on the move, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eye on it. Next book. I was watching the trailer for this book too. It looks good. It looks very interesting. And if they do it right and it hits well, this book is going to continue to jump in value also. And I'm talking about Marvel Comics, The Savage She-Hulk, issue number 1. Yep. This book was released February 1st, 1980. It's the first appearance of She-Hulk. Last recorded graded sales on this on a 9.8 was $1,049.95. It's currently trending upward at 38%. And the average sell for a 9.8 was $1,107. Raw copies are currently going for about $147. Total recorded sales this far, $3,888. 3,888 copies that have sold thus far. This thing is moving. This thing is definitely caught wings, right? And I really believe that people are excited about Jennifer Walters. Yeah. People want to see her, whether it's on the big screen or the small screen. People want to see her. They want to see She-Hulk. And you got Mark Ruffalo going to be playing the Hulk, and he's going to be there. The cousin is going to be there. So there's no limits to what can happen when this hits the screen. Right? This is just another opportunity for Marvel to bring in more characters. So more books are going to spike because of it. This is coming to Disney Plus. I think it's going to do really well. That's why I figured I needed to have this book in my possession. And I actually already have a copy of it, but I may grab another one. I'm really thinking about it. I want to grab another one. So I just wanted to make sure I just shared this information with you guys. Total copies sold so far, 3,889 copies. Back in April 2021, a 9.8 sold for $1,699.99. Meanwhile, the fair market value is resting at $1,107. So you do the math. You do the math. This book is going to heat up, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely keep your eye out for that. Now, this one, I had fun looking up this book. I'm having fun because this book may never happen. But for some reason, I think it's going to happen just based on how the streaming services have been moving and what direction they've been moving in. Excuse me. When you talk about series like Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, man, like there's a strong possibility that we are going to see this character. And let's talk for a minute about Marvel Comics Star Wars issue number 88. This is the first appearance of Lamaya, right? The Dark Lord Lady Sith, right? Basically a new Darth Vader, a female version of Darth Vader. Remember what I said before? Like how we keep having these characters of a character. Like she's not a new character, she's just a female version of a prior character. And I'm totally cool with that. And I'm excited about that, right? Exactly. Because I think this is going to happen. And the reason I think that is because how it continues to happen with other characters. You know, we are not seeing a lot of our male version of characters. We're seeing a lot of female version of characters. Just look at what they just did with Matrix. They just went and spent hundreds of millions of dollars to tell us that Neo is not the one, but Trinity is. Go figure. And by the way, the movie stunk, man. The movie stunk. They just totally undid all the hard work they did with Matrix, man. I love Matrix. Matrix is like one of my favorite trilogies, man. One of my favorite stories. They just like killed it. Not that I have anything against Trinity, but I just think everybody's trying too hard to. The women are already empowered. You guys, the ladies are already empowered. We love them. There is no them without us. We know that already. There's no us without them. Right? We get it. But you just killed the whole movie, man. You just hurt it. Right? I love my women, but everybody know that Neo was the one. He did the darn thing, right? And he did it because of his love for Trinity. Yeah. And that was a dope storyline. But anyway, back to Star Wars 88, because I can ramble on about that forever. The new Dark Lord, the new Darth Vader, Lady Sith, Lamaya, I think she's gonna show up. There's a strong possibility that she's gonna show up. Because listen, check out what's going on. You got last recorded sale for a raw copy was $39.99, right? She's trending like 4.90%. She's trending upward. She's going up. This book continues to rise. And the last graded average sales at a 9.8 went for $480. That means somebody else believes in this book too. Somebody else believes in this character. There are others who think that this character is going to pop up. It's going to show itself a lot sooner than later, right? And think about it. Raw copy sales average at about $20, $20.35, which is not bad. Total recorded sales so far, 176 copies. So this book is moving. It is gradually moving. It's starting to catch pace. It's starting to catch a little steam. It's moving, right? The highest graded copy sold back in March of 2021, a 9.8 in this book, and this cover sold for $570. Yeah. It's a wanted book. It's a wanted book. Somebody else thinks that somebody else is. There are others that are thinking the same way that I'm thinking. That this person is going to pop up. This person is definitely going to pop up. And fair market value has this book resting at $480. So that's not bad at all. So keep your eye out for that. Marvel Star Wars issue number 88, right? First appearance of Lemire, Dark Lady of the Sith. The new Darth Vader, right? Now, before I go, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, checking out the channel. Thank you for all the love and the support that you guys show me. Thank you for the encouragement, which is what I use to continue to fuel the fire that keeps burning within me to make sure I'm doing these videos for you guys, man. And constantly trying to figure out new and creative ways to engage our comic book community. I told you guys last year that I was going to be switching things up. I'm going to try to be more informative, and I'm going to try to continue to grow the channel slowly but surely in a manner that is productive and feasible to the community. So I really appreciate you guys. All right? So thank you. Thank you very much. So the last book I want to share with you guys, and we talked about it before, but we're going to talk about it again because I'm super hyped about it, and I'm talking about Strange Academy, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know that this series, this title, is a gold mine. It's a gold mine. It is the first appearance of everybody, right? Scotty Young has created a series and brought so many new characters to the table. You got first appearance of Emily Bright. You got first appearance of Doyle Dormammu. You got Shayla Moonpetal. You got first appearance of Calvin Morris, Desi Gorman. You got Gruslog. You got Zoe. You got Alvy. You got Eric. You got Toth. You got Toth. Listen. And the book is good. The book is fire. The story is fire. Scotty Young is a great writer. He's a great artist. This series has been put together very well. Scotty Young is a great writer. Can't believe it. I love it. I have to have this book, right? And I'm going to continue to pick up copies of this book because I want them in my PC. I'm going to try to have as many runs of copies of this run as I can. Yeah, 2, 3 runs, 4 runs, like it doesn't matter. I want it, right? Because I think it's worth having in the collection. Last recorded sale in a graded copy was in a 9.6, and it sold for $179.99 for a 9.6. It's currently trending upward at 36% right now. So people know that this book is fire. It's moving the needle. This book is definitely moving the needle, and it qualifies as a hot book. Yes, it does. It definitely qualifies as a hot book. Average graded sales in a 9.8 are going for like $302 right now, right? And definitely keep your eye out for those second and third prints because those are going to definitely be spiking as well, right? Raw copy average sales, $121. There are 953 copies sold so far. Yeah, so pay attention, guys. This book has caught legs. This book has caught legs, and it's definitely climbing uphill. Definitely. Highest known graded copy sold back in March 2021, a 9.8, sold for a cool $385, with the fair market value resting on this book at $302. So that's not bad. That's not bad. It means people are willing to spend for this book, right? I myself, I believe I'm also willing to spend for this book. Okay? So, Strange Academy, issue number 1. The whole series is fire. Make sure you do your due diligence, man. Get out there, get on the hunt, find these books, yo. All right? So, listen, I'm going to get out of here. That's what I have for you guys this week. I'll see you guys next week. I'll drop a new video. We'll talk about some more comics that I found. We're going to do this often. I'm going to continue to put these type of videos out. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how I did. Let me know if I sucked. It's all good, baby. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what I need to fix so I can fix it. All right? You guys know what I always say. Don't hate. Congratulate. Show some love because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, always keep it comics.